Alrighty. It's been actually a few days since, or not a few days, probably like a week or two since the season's come out. I'm not gonna lie, milestones have recently become just like horrible. I mean, the last like 3, 4, 5 seasons just really haven't been fun. I mean, they're pretty easy to do. The only reason why I continue doing a video on them is just due to the fact that you guys want them. And I mean, I know I'm known for milestones. My entire channel blew up because of milestones. So I feel like I owe it to you guys for a YouTube video on milestones. So yeah, guess what we're talking about today? Milestones. So pretty much the same thing as last season. There's a few differences because of the movement and weapons and different things that they've changed throughout the season, but they're pretty self-explanatory. But we'll go to each one individually and go through all of them. So, starting off actually, an easy one, damage opponents. This one's super simple. What I recommend doing is actually landing on any of the bosses and just defeating them, because you actually get like, I think like 1,000 damage or a crazy amount of damage if you shoot the NPCs or like their minions. You get an insane amount of damage from that because they count towards this. So really crazy. I think it's super easy to do. That's free XP. You could finish that in like a few games, if not like a day's worth of challenges. So you can do that. And then alongside that, we actually have, where's it at? Eliminate enemy players. So eliminate enemy players. This one's actually really weird. So up until stage 10, you have to do X amount of stages. So like you kill 20 enemies, then 50, then like 100, and then like 150. You know what I mean? But for some reason at stage 10, it goes 0 to 250. And then the next stage is like 0 to 500. So I'm pretty sure they accidentally did this because it's not supposed to be 250 and it's not counting the X or like the amount that you get for the first time. So unlike last season, because last season, if you guys don't know, if you know, like had 200 eliminations already, it would count towards that to the 250. But this one doesn't. You have to get 250 eliminations for that one stage, which is really insane. 250 eliminations. Like, if you guys don't know, like on average, you get about like 25 eliminations in a bot lobby. So that would take me 10 games, 10 dedicated games of just killing people to finish the stage. And this goes all the way up to, I believe, 1,000. I could be wrong though. Let me just double check. I do have the list here. Let's just like pretend. Yeah, I'll probably show it. It's somewhere up here. But yeah, where's it at? Yeah, so here they're at. So, oh, I know these are the Kickstart challenges. Archer sends me all of these every season. Yeah, so eliminate enemy players. It goes all the way up to 500. So you have to do 250 plus 300 plus 350 plus 400 plus 450 plus 500. And I think that's probably like around like 4,000 eliminations, which I don't think is supposed to be right. I think that's wrong. Hopefully they fix this, but the fastest way to do this is Team Rumble, bot lobbies. You already know, like stuff like that. So, you know, just do it that way. Next up, I think that's all for the damage stuff. We got Outlast players and survive storm circles. This one's actually pretty easy too. What I recommend for Outlast players is you can be like bush camp dad and just sit in a bush or a tree or go AFK up until the last minute and survive those or outlast those players. That's a very easy thing to do in just in general. Or you can use the train method, which is also another method for traveling distance, which we'll talk about that in a second. But you could use the train method of going around med kitting and just staying on the train to outlast players. I'd actually recommend doing that alongside with travel distance, because those are basically the two same thing, but or like they correlate to each other. So yeah. And then survive storm circles. This is the same thing as outlast players. I mean, in reality, like you're just surviving storm circles. So the more players you outlast, the more circles you're going to survive. But a tip for surviving storm circles, if you guys don't know, if you're in bot lobbies or just in general lobbies, if you wait until the last circle and whenever it starts moving, you could just save the last person and just continue until the circle closes, until like the final one's closing, because it counts as storm circles. So as long as you survive them, you should be good. And then also a note on this, if you're knocked and you get eliminated or like rebooted, if your reboot card's right there and you're like fully eliminated, it doesn't count for surviving a storm circle. I feel like no one has mentioned this or anything before, but I feel like maybe some people out there don't know that. But yeah, it doesn't count. So if you're fully eliminated and you're going through a storm circle, the only way that you actually survive that storm circle is if you're rebooted and then the next one starts. So you can continue in the same game, but you won't survive or get one counted towards it if you die within that storm circle time limit, if that makes sense. So if you have any questions on that, down in the comments, let me know. I'll help you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We actually, fun fact, I probably should have said this earlier. We actually have less milestones than last season. And last season, we also had a milestone for activate augments, which we never got. So very fun. But this season, I believe we only have 8 milestones. So yeah, so 3, 6, 8. Yeah, we only have 8 milestones, which if you don't know, you get 5,000 XP per each milestone. And there's 20 stages, so you get 100,000 XP per. And then I don't think you get bonuses for finishing milestones anymore. So yeah, so you get 100,000 XP. That's 900,000 XP, which give or take, I think mathematically, if I remember correctly, you get about 20, 25 levels from milestones, which might not seem like a lot, but if you're playing Fortnite and having fun, these get finished, like you finish these really fast. So a little note there for all those people. Otherwise, yeah, let's just jump right back to it. So travel distance, this is actually a next one that I'll probably finish very soon. I actually use just flying around or any bike thing or car, stuff like that. But I usually fly around. I usually try to get all the wings, like 3 slots of wings, which usually gets you around 1,000 distance per usage of 100. So you get around 3,000 per wings if you use them right. So I think I recorded this, but if not, I'll probably have to put this in there. But basically, using the wings is actually pretty easy, and a good way to learn how to use them is whenever you're flying up, you want to dash upwards and then hold up, because you kind of go a little bit further, and then just do that on repeat, going up all the way up. And then you just dive down as fast as possible. And right before you hit the ground, you pull back up and you glide back up, and like you actually can continue doing this for a little bit. And also a note, if you start somewhere high, you actually can go further, because you know, starting at a higher position, you go down and down, then you could go back up because the floor is going further down. So that's also a note. So if you're on a mountain and you're going down, you can just use the wings to glide and then use the boost to go back up and then go back down. So methods like that using the wings is a very good way to travel distance. I mean, as you can see, I'm almost done with it. And then the other method, which is actually pretty easy, and you get around 10,000, if not around an entire stage, just give or take like 9,000 to 10,000 per game. You can use the train method. So the train method, if you don't know, I started this last season. It was funny because someone told me that they didn't think about this, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, it's something you could do. The train method is basically land on the train whenever the game starts and just sit there AFK. Start the heist thing. There's a chest on there. You can start it. It gives you 3 medkits per like opening, if that makes sense. And I think it takes like a minute to open or something like that. And you keep those medkits and you keep opening it over and over. You get around 9 medkits at the end. And basically, whenever you get into circle, you take a medkit when you're about to die. So the first circle's around 20 health, and then so forth. It goes up and up. So the next one's 40, and then if you get further and like you're in like the last one or last storm circle, you have to take medkit after medkit. So you basically save those. And you can also eliminate enemy players while you're on the train. If you're in bot lobbies, you can find people that are just sitting right next to the train or like in the distance. Your aim has to be a little bit good to do that, but it's also a good way to eliminate enemy players. And you get around a stage per this, so this would take about 20 games, if not a little less, if you also move within the game, if you're moving on the train too. So this is a really great method if you don't feel like doing anything in the game besides taking medkits. Also, this is a fun fact. You can also do this for ranked games. So if you're a ranked Andy and you really want to get ranked challenges done, you can actually do this, because you can survive storm circles by outlasting and staying in circle. So it's a method that I've done, and I think it's really good. The only downside is I believe in ranked, you get storm sickness a lot faster, so be wary of that. Otherwise, I think the last last 3 actually. I mean, there's 2 of them that are actually kind of not hard, but tedious. But one of them is Thank the Bus Driver. This one is, I think, goes all the way to 200, I believe. So you have to play 200 games to make sure you thank the bus driver. I'm only on stage 3. I played 26 games, as you can see, and I never missed a thank the bus driver. So you can see this is all 26 games of BR. This includes bot lobbies, regular lobbies, and such. So I played 26 games. This is where I'm at after 26 games, almost a fourth way through most of them, if not all the way done, or halfway through. So about 100 games in total, and I'd be done with most of these. So yeah. And then finally, or the second to last one actually, is complete match quest. So complete match quest is actually kind of annoying, tedious. This is also, match quest is basically like the new dailies. This is something that came out last season. You basically get a match quest within the game. You get to choose which one you want to do. Just choose the easiest. I'm not going to go through all of them because I think there's like 70 of them. But basically choose the easiest one. Usually it's like eliminate an enemy player, or dance near an enemy player, or land somewhere, survive for 75 players, such like that. So those, they're not hard to do. The only downside and annoyance to them, I would say, is that you actually have to play the game and you only get one per game. I really wish you can actually do all three, or you can choose between three and then get a new one, something like that. But yeah, I've only done 26, which is very annoying, but it is what it is. The one thing that I do have to say though is this is 25 stage 5, so I think it's 5 per stage. If my math's correct, I'll have to correct myself, but 5 per stage. So in total, I think it's like 100. So you have to play 100 games no matter what. If not, I think it might go to 200. So, but either way, that's a very annoying match quest. And then finally, this one's actually not that hard. It's quite easy if you know what you're doing. It is acquire accolades. Accolades is actually stuff that you do within the game that gives you XP. If you don't know, if you like eliminate a enemy player, you get, that's an accolade. Eliminating an enemy player, eliminating 2, eliminating 5, 10, 15, go so on and so forth, is an accolade. Building 100 structures, or destroying hitting a weak points for like 100, I think, is an accolade. There's hundreds of accolades in the season. I'm not going to go through all of them. I know last season I said I would do a video on it, but it's almost pointless because you can finish this very easily. Like, I don't know all the accolades, but I'm almost done with them. You know what I mean? So there's hundreds of them. So all you have to do is like damage. There's like an accolade also is like damaging people with pistols, or SMGs, snipers, ARs, stuff like that. So pickaxe an enemy, that's an accolade. So stuff like that. Just do those. You kind of finish these within just by just playing the game, because there's stuff that you do. So free XP really. So the ones that are easiest is probably accolades and damaged opponents. And then of course travel distance, but this one's tedious because you actually have to move. Otherwise, yeah, that's all the milestones. I think the only thing that I have to note is everything that I wrote down. So yeah, thanks about Striver. You can Team Rumble. This is actually the fastest way to do it too. Team Rumble bot lobbies for eliminated opponents. Same thing with damaged opponents. Yeah, and then of course the minions and bosses. Match quest. Yeah, you can't. I literally wrote down no fast way. You only can do one per game. Wings, train method, and then vehicles, of course, for travel distance. Survive for outlast, survive, and then save the last bot, and then yeah, a lot of them. I literally wrote a lot of them because you finish them very easily. But yeah, that's milestones through the seasons. I know you guys really want milestone videos like right away, but the problem is in reality, you guys finish these milestones faster than I could actually get these videos out. Because all those people that get XP, or like want to finish, like get a level 100 really fast, you guys finish these. Like these things, like it took me 26 games to do this, and I haven't even played a lot of BR this season. I've probably played maybe like literally 26 games. So otherwise, the only thing that I have to note is I'm level 96. I think 20 of my levels is from Save the World, if not like 25. And then everything else is from BR. And then I also have been doing the, I don't want to say AFK. Well, actually it is. I've done the AFK fishing or Lego mode, where you just literally lay in a bed, go to bed, and you lay in the bed, and then I go to sleep, and then I get XP for that. And then there's also the Fortnite Festival and Rocket Racing they get XP for, but I don't play those. So yeah, those are a good way to get XP too. But if you guys want videos on separate stuff like that, I'm down to do it. But I'm not really like the crazy person to do XP anymore. I'm doing casual. I'm kind of just getting levels as I go. Otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like and subscribe down below. I know I've been posting a lot, but maybe we'll do a video here and there, maybe like 2 videos a week, if not like 3 videos. We'll try to get back in the groove. Otherwise, yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe. Remember, as always, have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.